This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
People, welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. Tonight's topic, commitment phobia. All right, let's get this out of the way. Let's get a formal definition. What is commitment phobia? It is fear of getting in a long-term relationship or making decisions that have long-lasting effect. All right. Now, just so we're clear, we are talking about fear of intimacy, getting close to other people. And I am referring to let's say a mate, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a husband, a wife, things of that nature. All right. So let's keep this simple. We got 8 questions. We got Dude, we got Gregory, we got Robbie, we got Kiana, we got Patsy, and we got Tanya. All right, and before we get started, everyone, let's go ahead and wish Tanya happy birthday. Happy birthday, Tanya.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Her birthday is tomorrow, but we want to go ahead and get her all the love she can get right now.
I'm going to be 60.
Okay.
Big 6-0.
See, this is a perfect example of real black don't crack. So, yes. The blessings of the Lord is upon you. All right. Live the good life. All right. And that being said, let's get back to business. Commitment phobia. All right. Let's have a discussion. Pull up these questions. All right. My notes. Question number 1. All right. We're going to start with I'm gonna start with a lady, and then I'm gonna try to go male, female, and try to go around the board. All right, question number 1. Have you ever been in a relationship in which you or your mate were unwilling to commit to said relationship because the participants were holding out for a more practical option? So you just wasn't willing to commit because you thought you could do better. All right. Let's go to Patsy first. Patsy, what do you say? Have you ever been in a relationship like that where you or your mate was holding out, waiting for something better?
I know I wasn't, but I had to break up because it wasn't going well.
Okay. Rob, what about you?
No, I don't think we was holding out because we was waiting for a better opportunity to come along. That's just saying.
Okay, so I see where this is going, so let me go ahead and nip this in the bud. When I am referring to any relationship that you have been within your lifetime, and you guys, y'all probably had, some of y'all probably have many more than others, so let's answer these questions based upon that. All right, so does anybody that I already asked want to?
No. Ask that question again to me, and then I'll answer based on all my relationships.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Question number 1. Have you ever been in a relationship in which you or your mate were unwilling to commit to said relationship because the participants were holding out for a more practical option, meaning something more viable?
Yeah. I can say I did that with a couple of young ladies. Because I wasn't willing to commit at the time with a few of them. And then, there was a time in my life that I just said I had more than one lady at one time, so there was no commitment.
Okay. Now y'all see that? Everybody pay attention to what Robert just did because I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on you. Maybe communication was one of the problems why it didn't work because you wasn't using honest communication because you got to listen to what's being said to you. Pat, you want to go back and jump in and try to answer the question again, or are you safe with what you said?
Well, I say what I said, and I don't know about my partner at the time, at any given time, but I didn't have no commitment issues.
Okay. All right. Gregory, what you say?
I want to say sometimes things happen and you're not even planning on not being committed or something. It's a mind state sometimes. Sometimes you got to be stronger than what's going on around you.
Okay. Tanya, what's your perspective? Have you ever been in a relationship in which you or your mate failed to commit because you was holding out for something better?
I wouldn't say, well, I guess you could say holding out for something better. There were a time where was involved with someone that was abusive, so I didn't want to commit to that in my younger years. There's a time that I held out because I wanted to know them more on a what kind of intellectual level, and they wanted to be more intimate, and I wasn't for that. Then there's times where, let's see, how can I put this? They were committed to someone else, so I was just playing.
Oh, having a bit of extracurriculum.
Well, friends with benefits.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All of that was before I met the love of my life.
Okay. All right. Let's get another male perspective. Dude, what do you say? Have you ever been in a relationship in which you or your mate decided to hold out because you felt like that you can do better?
No, I never look at that you can do better. Because if you're with somebody, regardless of how they look or whatever, if you're with somebody you chose them for a reason. And that means you want to be with them. So no, if I chose somebody, I wasn't holding out and waiting for the next one. Nah, I didn't do that. That's disrespectful to the person and it's not real. It's not real.
Okay.
But if I like I said, then like you said, if you know that you're a second option for anybody or anything, then you're not going to want to be there because you're always going to know you're a second option. So I never ever want to make no one feel that way, and I never want to feel that way myself.
I love that the whole second option title. Yep. Yes. There's some
Nobody wanted second.
No.
Now everybody wants the first place ribbon. And when you're in a relationship, that's where your mindset should be. Your first and everything else is second. Unless we're talking about God.
And that's what true love is all about, right? You finding that right one and that right one.
That's why I told you I had difficulties with committing because I didn't want to feel like I was tied down at times in relationships. So if a woman or the young lady knows what's going on going into this situation, then everyone's on board that we're just like friends with benefits.
Mm-hmm. Duchess, are you with us?
Sean Edwards has
She
joined
stepped
me.
out.
All right.
Sean's here.
All right, we'll go to Sean. What's up, Sean?
Hello, everyone.
Good.
Bring you right into the fray.
Yes, sir. Your birthday's coming up too, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll make sure we get those birthday celebrations in there, those acknowledgments. All right. So thank you for joining us tonight. We are discussing commitment phobia, and we are on the first question. Have you ever been in a relationship in which you or your mate were unwilling to commit to said relationship because the participants were holding out for something more practical? What do you say?
Wait, where is she? No, that's
I mean, I'm about to say,
no.
Lights, camera, action.
Hold on.
Oh.
Let me go ahead and put this disclaimer in. The views of the participants are their views and their views alone. So if you hear any furniture breaking or windows and dishes, that is because they brought it on themselves. All right. That being said, proceed with caution.
I can answer because I have not picked her up from work yet. Yeah, pick her up in 20 minutes.
Why you was asking where she at then, Sean?
Because I want to make sure she's making sure that I'm picking her up and not sneaking up and walking home. No, but to answer that question, I have, because and I'll say it like this: I've been married before, and I have no desire to be married again. And I came into our situation. We both came into our situation with knowing that that's what my mindset was. But as time went along, I still don't want to be married. But what I am open to is I'm open to doing and allowing God to do whatever it is that He desires to do in my life.
Okay.
That's a good way to put it.
And so that's where we are right now.
Okay. Now, mind you, because you missed this part of it, when I told the rest of the panel, these questions do not have to pertain to your current relationship anytime within your life.
No, I know, but that's my life.
Okay.
That's my life. Because anything that has gone on before now is irrelevant. So that's how I answered that question.
Got it.
So these are good. It's a good topic, good questions. Everybody's gonna be different. But for me, I'm a Cancer. I love love. So.
Me too. I just love me a whole lot more than I love everybody else.
All right. Yeah.
Are you a scorned man?
Not at all. Not at all. I've been very blessed in my life. Sorry, Dave, that we're taking over. No. I have been very blessed in my life that every woman that I've ever encountered.
What happened? You still looking over your shoulder?
Yeah, you can't. Your thing went out. Your mic.
Turn your mic back on. See, I done told y'all dudes about these women with these booby trap phones.
We're gonna have to
y'all be saying stuff and they can control it from where they are, and they just pull the plug.
Can you guys hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
We thought you were in the white flag.
She just gave you back your control of your phone. Go ahead.
No, I ran to the window to make sure she wasn't peeking out the door. I'm kidding. Oh, sorry. I don't know what I was saying when you guys when I faded out.
I said, are you a scorned man? And he said, no.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not at all. I've been very, very blessed to have that every individual that I've ever encountered has always been good to me. I may not have been good to them relationship wise, but I was always good as a friend. And so to this day, I have that friendship relationship with just about every person that I've ever encountered, except for two, and that's by choice.
He has left the meeting.
And each of my situations that I've ever been in has always known about my previous relationships or situations and knows about my friendship or my interaction with said people.
All right. I'm gonna answer this question too. Um, yeah, I'm guilty of this. And I was in a relationship where I was holding out because I had let me see, I just broke up with the love of my life. So yeah, I had a lot of options once I was removed from that relationship. But there was always discussions of returning to the relationship. So I felt like I didn't want to get too deeply involved into the situationship because I was, as soon as my preferred mate, the season selection was willing and ready to allow me to return to the queendom, I was going to proceed with wings on my feet. So, needless to say, I was going to leave that individual in the dust. So, yeah, while I was waiting, I end up developing feelings for the as Dude referred to it as the second option. And because I try to be honest with all the women that I deal with or that I have dealt with, and I told her my plans. But I never thought I was going to, have those type of emotions for the second option. But I wasn't being honest with myself, and I wasn't being honest with that individual because she was a very lovable and likable young lady. She just wasn't the one that I chose and that chose me. So, needless to say, there was some love. There was a lot of love. And when I basically gave the second option her walking papers, thinking that I was about to return to my happiness, they pulled the rug from under me, and they pulled a let's be friends situation. And for me, that was kind of hard because it was like, no, we already been friends. We way past friends. It's hard to return to that category when you've been something more than that. But yeah, to be honest, what I learned is, I mean, even when you are being honest with someone else about the situation, you have to be honest overall. You can't. You got to be honest with yourself too. That's what I mean to say. You got to be honest with yourself, because if you're not honest with yourself, you can't be honest with anyone else, and then that's going to bring about these commitment issues and stuff like that. That being said, Duchess, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, just so you know, you can answer these questions based upon any relationship you've been in. So, have you ever been in a relationship in which you or your mate failed, just were unwilling to commit because you was holding out for something better?
No. The hell? Why would I be in a relationship like that? No. No, either you want to be with me or you don't. I want to be with you or I don't. I don't play that shit.
Mm. Yeah, just so
Holding out
y'all
for
know.
somebody else. Ugh, nope.
Yeah.
I'm either the first option or no option.
Oh, yeah, just so you know, your first time viewers, Duchess is our residential panel member that has the no nonsense approach to life. She's not willing to make sense out of your nonsense. So just giving you fair warning, her answers
May seem harsh.
might be a bit
Right.
abrasive for you thin-skinned individuals. All right, you got more?
No, I mean, I could maybe see that as a teen. No, 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 no. That's my answer. No. I mean, like I said, maybe as a kid or a teenager, I have my options. But if I wasn't your option, you have no option.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
Anybody else want to add to it? Got a got a rebuttal? All right. That was good. Question number one. That was good. All right, let's see what we got. Question number one. All right, question number two. Y'all gotta give me this thing is jumping all over the place, but we are here. Question number two. Are you a person that practices the art of avoidance, especially when the subject relates to long-term commitment such as marriage? Dun 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 dun. Sean, it's on you, bro.
Oh no.
No, I don't, because again, we know where I stand. We
Mm-hmm.
know where I stand personally, but also since being together, what I am open to, because we decided to put God first.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that's going to sound kind of oxymoron, because it's going to be like, well, if you guys are putting God first, how has he not made, change your thinking and this and that and the other? And I can't answer for him, but I do believe that there are certain things in life that we individually had to get together first.
Mm-hmm. Now, does that we flip the first letter upside down and it turns into an M?
I mean, it's always been an M. It's always been an M, but because I've changed my mind over
Yeah.
the course of the years,
Yes.
that's why it's now a we.
Okay. All right.
Because God, like I said, I'm allowing, I'm open for him to do what it is that he's has planned for my life. But because he's given me a spirit of free will, I mean, I'm going to question some things to God. You all might say, well, who are you? Yeah, I'm his child. I can question. Now, he may not have to answer me, but I
Mm-hmm.
can question some things. And
Yeah.
so,
What's
so
that?
that's,
Matthews 11, judge not, or you too shall be judged.
mm,
So that's not for us to we can we sometimes the things that you think in your head you shall not speak out aloud.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so, I just, I threw that out there, Scott. I didn't want you all to think I was being, blasphemous or anything like that. But that's just how me and the good Lord rolls with one another. I'm
All
gonna do
right.
what he tells me to do,
Mm-hmm.
but he knows me well enough to know, be like, now, God, really? I need you to work on that heart just a little bit more, because I'm not feeling what you're saying right now. So,
Mm.
yeah.
And who are we gonna go to next? Let's go to Brimage. Same question, Robert. Do you practice the art of avoidance?
I mean, I have, especially when you take a look at something that ain't nothing to look at. Um, I've been there. I mean, listen, at a young age, they try to marry me off, and maybe before that, I went through something like that with another family. Then I can go on to say the last young lady that I never should have been on a blind date with. You know, I'm trying to tell you, it was bad. So she told me her mother said that it's time for her to get married and how to have a baby. And I had to give her a to-go package, meaning you take a adult entertainment movie with you and a CD, and you go on about your way. I don't ever want to see you over here again.
And you shall not mention this person by their government.
I won't.
Yes, let's keep it that way. You got more to add?
No, I'm done.
All right. Let's speak to young Lacey. What do you say, G? Do you practice the art of avoidance, especially when it comes to long-term relationships, such as marriage?
Um, I've never been married, but there's probably some girls that I probably would have considered marrying, and then there's some girls that probably thought we was gonna get married, and we're actually out there goddamn minds.
Mm. Did
Uh-uh.
you tell them this?
Yeah, I believe so. Multiple
Mm,
times.
mm, mm,
This
mm.
wasn't a marriage.
And have I met any of them?
Probably, perhaps.
Yes, yes. You need to get your fishing rod and go back in. Because those one of those things where you throw it back because it's too small. It's not ready yet. Um, you got more?
No, that was it.
All right. Dude, what about you? Do you practice the art of avoidance, especially when it comes to long-term relationships such as marriage? And remember, past and present.
No, I didn't avoid it. Once I knew, I just went at it.
Mm.
Once I knew, I just went at it. I didn't need to think about it. I didn't need to wait for it. Once you know, you just got to do it.
Okay. Patsy, what's your perspective?
Um, like, I guess in a sense I probably am right now because of arts, but um, I know in the past I have because it's like I wasn't sure about the person, but I was still interested in them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah.
Okay. Duchess, same question. Have you ever practiced the arts of avoidance, especially when it comes to long-term relationships such as marriage? Turn your mic on, Duchess. Okay, she might have stepped away. Tanya, same question.
Repeat it.
Have you, or should I say, do you or have you ever practiced the art of avoidance, especially when it comes to long-term relationships and marriage,
No,
discussion of marriage?
I have not. Like I said, the only relationship that I didn't go into was when I was younger, and I liked the young man, but when he was um had the abusive tendency, I dropped him like a hot potato.
Oh,
Um, but no, any other relationship that I've had, I've gone into it looking to be in a long-term relationship.
Mm.
And when it didn't happen, I moved on. But I've never strayed away from a commitment. That's I'm a committed person. I expect you to give me what I'm giving you.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
if it doesn't happen, then you're not ready for a real woman.
Ooh. Y'all gonna
uh-oh.
learn today.
All right, I like that.
I am just
You
liking it.
are you
I'm
are
liking it.
speechless.
I'm liking it. Come
You are.
on, women. Keep dripping.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we
Yes, we
can hear
Yeah.
you,
could.
Duchess.
Oh, 'cause I didn't have I did have my microphone on, but you couldn't hear me.
So,
I mean, I
question.
had it on, but y'all couldn't hear me, so I came back.
So let me give you the question again.
Welcome back.
Have you ever practiced the art of avoidance, especially when it comes to long-term relationships and the discussion of marriage?
No, I haven't. I mean, my husband and I were together since we were younger, and I stated at a certain time that us playing house was not an option. I didn't want to raise our son thinking that that was cute
Mhm,
or an option for him.
mhm,
So we could either get married or we would have to break up because I wasn't in a I wasn't in the business of playing house. I mean, that didn't happen right away because technically we were supposed to get married when I was pregnant, and I'm glad we didn't because we would have not been together because you grow and you're different people. And you could easily say, oh, at, I don't know, 18, like, yeah, I'm not happy, I'm leaving. So that wouldn't have worked. And I didn't fall pressure to what other people, which is my MO anyway. I don't do what people tell me to do or
mhm,
uh, say is the best look because of blah, blah, blah. I don't give a damn about a look. So that I wasn't I wasn't pressured as much as I could have been at a younger age to get married. And when looking back in hindsight, I'm glad we didn't because again, we would not have been together
mm,
because either one of us could have been like, yeah, this is like I'm mad you're not doing your load when it comes to our kids, so we're gonna leave.
mm.
It takes maturity to kind of be in the trenches.
Yes.
So again, I wasn't I definitely was not like I said, I grew up with parents who were married. He grew up with parents who were married. My grandparents were married, even though one of my grandparents ended up getting a divorce. But again, that's what I know. So I wasn't going to do differently and I was going to accept differently.
Mm. Like it, like it. Let me go ahead and try to answer this question. So, well, I'm going to answer this question. Uh, I practice the art of avoidance. Um, I've basically had a couple of mock proposals. You know, I think they practiced what they was going to say, and I think they really believed that's something that they wanted to do, and they just had to convince me. But there was something about the individual that was making the proposal that it just wasn't genuine, and I felt like they had an alternative motive. They had a hidden agenda, and I just wasn't buying it. Now, I I entertain the idea of marriage because I want to get married, but I want to get married for all the right reasons, not for the wrong reasons. I don't want to get married simply because I don't want to be alone, and I don't want to get married to someone simply because they feel that I'm going to be someone that they can leave alone and go off and roam now. Because I think a couple of these individuals, they had children that weren't mine. And I think they were just basically looking for a babysitter.
Mhm.
So the man that I am, they knew certainly that I would be loyal because I've already shown myself to be so, especially when it came to them and their children. If I'm with you, I'm with you in every way that it matters. So if I'm looking out for you, I'm looking out for yours. So I think these individuals was in love with the idea of being married to me, but I don't think they was actually considering everything what comes with being married to me. Because I'm different. I'm different. Uh, Simply put, I ain't for the BS. So again, I'm very verbal. I believe in putting everything on the table, honest discussion, honest communication. And some people, they're just not built for that. And when I was in school and we was taking up psychology, one of the first things they talked about was effective communication. And they said people are either open for business or closed. And I'm telling you, a lot of times when you have these hard conversations with people about marriage, they just they get tight. They close up like a clam before it's put into that boiling water. You can't, I'm telling you, they become so mysterious, tight-lipped and everything. But they the ones that wanted to have the conversation. Because again, I believe they really thought they were ready to have that conversation and proceed to the next level of relationships. But I don't think they was ready to have that conversation with me. But yeah. So I think at that point I ultimately started avoiding that conversation. They said, "Oh, I can't wait until you when we get married because you can move in and you can do this and that." And I started listening to them. The conversations always revolved around what they wanted to do. And when you start talking about so I can move in, it's like, hold up, I got my own lodging. Um, it never crossed your mind that it would be better that you move into my house or my apartment? Why do I need to relocate? So, like I said, I think they thought they was ready for that conversation. And even myself, even as I'm saying this, I think that there's still some maturing or growing that I have to do regarding that because of what I've seen in other relationships, I'm not willing to just throw it all in. You know, I'm gonna hold my cards and I'm gonna keep playing. Now, and I ain't talking about my player card. I'm talking about poker wise, where I'm gonna play these cards that I got to the end. See what happens. See if there's a nice winning pot for me. But right now, that's not what it is. So I guess I'm gonna just keep, you know, turning these cards around. All right. Anybody else have anything to add? Any rebuttals? Any advice for any of your panel members? All right. Ladies, I'm surprised you ain't got no feedback. Maybe I need that feedback. All right. Let's go with question number 3. All right. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Question number 3. Are men or women more likely to equate past heartbreak and betrayal with their fear of commitment? Robert? Turn your mic on, Brimage. Okay. Patsy, you with us?
Yep.
Same question. Are men or women more likely to equate past heartbreak and betrayal with their fear of commitment?
I think it's a combination of both. It's just like depending on what you went through as a person, whether man or woman, like especially having a divorce on your plate and or you had like domestic violence happening to you, just given the situation with the heartbreak, you know? So yeah, it depends on the individual, I believe.
Okay. Gregory, what's your perspective?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Patsy because a woman can become promiscuous and a male can just become a dog if he wants to. So it depends on what you went through as a person, like she's saying.
Duchess, what's your perspective? Are men or women more likely to equate past heartbreak or betrayal with their fear of commitment?
Move. I think it's both. I think men will be more vocal about it with their peers and maybe not necessarily with the women that they're messing with, or maybe they will. But I think it's both. I think both will be leery of going into a new relationship with someone else after whatever caused the relationship to end. I think both will be cautious, but like I said, I think men will be more vocal about it, and women will be more. A lot of women will be more open to a relationship, but they'll be cautious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sean?
I like what Kiana said. So I'll partially agree with that. I think we as men, we do become vocal in some of our actions. Is our actions actually make us become vocal because the way that we react to certain things would cause conversation to where we would then open up and say why it is that we're moving the way that we're moving. Um, and we kind of move on a little faster, I think, than the women do, because women take time to actually process the pain and the hurt and whatever it is that they went through. But then eventually they'll find some distractions and move on from it all.
Well said, well said. Tanya, what's your perspective? Are men or women more likely to equate past heartbreak or betrayal with their fear of commitment?
I think that it could be. I agree with some of what the panel has said, but also it's the individual who you are currently involved with. Like if the only way that they'll bring in that past heartbreak is if that person they're involved with does something that triggers the pain. But they can also move on without bringing in that past heartbreak if the current person that they're involved with has that understanding and loving, if they kind of meet at the same, have experienced some of the same hurt, and they can understand where one another is coming from.
Mm. Okay. Dude, what's your perspective? Turn your mic on, dude.
My man, what'd you say, Dave?
Okay, are men or women more likely to equate past betrayal and heartbreak with their fear of commitment?
It depends on how they were raised, but in a typical form, in a typical way, without all the trauma and all the bullshit, usually when a woman is hurt, it's usually her. And if a guy is, how can I say it? If a woman is hurt, sometimes when a woman is hurt, don't have nothing to do with betrayal. So betrayal really gets to a man, but other stuff gets to a woman. Like what bothers a man don't bother a woman, what vice versa. So it depends. But if how can I say, I want to say it in the right way and using the right form. So men men who've been abandoned and men who've been deceived or betrayed, they seem to be more cautious. Women who seem to be hurt and in and out of relationships, especially abusive ones and just people cheating on them and stuff like that, they seem to be more cautious as well.
Mm. Mm. Like that. Timmy, what's your perspective? Are men or women more likely to equate past heartbreak and betrayal with their fear of commitment?
I think it's both. It could be both. Both parties can bring heartbreaks that happen to them and past relationships or even before they had relationship, it could have been some issue with their father or their
Yes.
mother. So it doesn't always have to be relationship when stuff happens to people in that they bring into their life. See, because when your life is a learning process throughout your whole life. You never stop learning. So each trials and tribulation you go through is supposed to be a learning lesson. It's something that you should need from that lesson to make you a better person and know not to do that same thing. You can't make the same mistakes twice.
Say, yep, say, yep. Well said, well said. Brimage, are you back with us?
Yes, I am. I'm going to agree with Patsy and Kiana, and I'm just gonna throw this in there and leave it as it is. Women and men all runs on emotions. So if anything bad happens to a man um dealing with past relations, he tends to hold it in more than to share with a lot of people. Women express themselves more. They're gonna just be keepity gappity gappity and let you know how they don't want you to do what the last man has done to them, how they've been wronged by their past relationships. But when they do such a thing, they open up the door for the new man, not knowing if he's going to one day throw it back in their face or use it for his own personal gain.
Well said, well said. I'm gonna answer this too. Timmy basically uh touched this point or made a great point about this. And I agree with Timmy, whereas the women equate, like, I'm gonna say, childhood experiences with their adult decisions. They bring that into their adult decision. So a lot of times, because I just tell you based upon my experiences with women, a lot of women come with a lot of baggage, and I'm talking about their emotional baggage, and it is stemming from their relationships with their mother and their father. So those are the first ones to introduce them to both heartache and betrayal. And a lot of times, unfortunately, these young ladies and later women, they don't learn how to process those emotions and stuff. So they don't have coping skills, nor do they have troubleshooting skills or conflict and resolution skills. So they don't handle it well when it comes to their adult relationships because they never learned the skills. They never acquired the skills. And so, like Robert said, now when they come into these new relationships, a lot of times the new guy is unaware of everything that they are bringing with them, and once they start unpacking, you may not have enough room, not enough room, not enough space for all the emotion that they're bringing with you, the emotional baggage. Because you got your own too. Now let's be clear about this. Women are not the only ones that suffer from this because boys too. You know, they get introduced to this early on, and they don't always know how to deal with their heartache neither. But theirs usually come at the hands of, I'm gonna say mom too, can be their first example of heartache. Dad might be their first example of betrayal in a lot of situations because he has fled the coop. He's gone for whatever reason. And now that kid does not know how to cope, don't know how to deal with that loss. And they feel like everybody's going to walk away from them. So let me leave everyone, abandon this ship before it even goes down. Because in their head, ultimately, that's what it's going to lead to. It's always going to be a sinking ship. And the only thing that they know how to do is swim away, as opposed to trying to keep the boat from sinking, staying afloat. But yeah, that's what I believe. Anybody got some rebuttals? All right. Question number 4. Have you ever dated someone who is, this is good. Have you ever dated someone who is emotionally unavailable, or have you been accused of said behavior? Timmy? You got to turn your mic on. All right, let's go to Patsy. Patsy, same question.
Yeah, there was like at least 1 or 2 people that were unavailable, emotionally, and just made me feel like, they couldn't be dependable, and there was other factors in there besides the emotional unavailability. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's emotional. I think what you go through in life is how you interpretate things, and you can get things confused and thinking what you're going through is acceptance, but it's really not, and you don't know because you never had no one teach you that. So of course you would be lost and feeling like, you know, that's not, you don't know which direction to go. So you make your own decision, and then you don't correct them until you make those mistakes, and you find it was a mistake and you try to correct it. But most of the things that we learn from relationships is by experiencing, and definitely you're supposed to get a whole lot wiser and not go down the same road for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well said, well said. Tanya, what's your perspective?
Repeat the question again.
Have you ever dated someone who was emotionally unavailable, or have you been accused of said behavior?
I've dated someone who's been emotionally unavailable. Like I've said before, I love love. And so I'm always going to be emotionally available. It's just that the recipient that that's not emotionally available can't handle what I'm bringing.
Mm.
So, like I said, they're not ready for it, or they can't appreciate it. They haven't reached that level yet.
Good, good. Honest conversation. Dude, what's your views on this?
Oh, Dave, I'm sorry.
Hmm?
Ben.
Go ahead, Tanya.
On the flip side of that, when I become emotionally unavailable, is when I feel like I've been taken total advantage of. Then I shut off.
Okay. All right. All right, whoever's TV that is, mute your TV because we getting some feedback over here.
Confused. All of us are, when some of them are in high school.
All right, you ready, dude?
All right, yep, go ahead.
All right. Have you ever dated someone that is emotionally unavailable, or have you been accused of said behavior?
Yeah, I've been in both situations. And usually when that happens, it's for a reason. If you can't figure it out, it's time to go.
Mm. Mm. Right to the point. All right. Duchess, what's your views?
No, I have not.
Okay. Sean?
I've been accused of that. Their word for me is I'm too nonchalant, I'm too laid back. Nothing bothers me. Nothing's of urgency.
Wow.
Maybe that's a cancer thing.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Sean,
I'm a
that
cancer.
that was part of my problem. That was part of my problem. And I'm gonna say something else because Sean answered the way I didn't expect him to, and it made me want to just say that's my answer. I was trying to lead towards something else with hit me with that question again, but I agree with Sean. That's how I was. But hit me with the question.
It's honest. We need your honest opinion, your honest
Yes.
perspective.
Yes.
So the question is, have you ever dated someone that was emotionally unavailable, or have you been accused of said behavior?
Okay. And personally speaking, the way Sean answered it is touching home with me. But the way I was going to answer it was this: it didn't start off that way. Somewhere during the time we was dating or in a relationship, someone tampered with, the young lady's brain, and she was willing to play. So when you start seeing your spouse or your partner stop being emotionally checked out, you either got two choices: become emotionally checked out with them and play the field, or you just know that your relationship has ran its course.
Mm. All right.
Yeah, my answer was gonna be something just like what Uncle Rob said. I was gonna say sometimes things run their course because at the beginning of a relationship, you guys might be pouring into each other, and then somewhere along the line, one person's pouring all they can into this person, and their cups are overflowing, and they don't give a goddamn about anything.
Yeah. Well
I
said.
think I think also the two parties are not hearing each other.
Yes, the
It's
honest
like
communication.
they're not
There's no
uh,
honest communication.
there's no
Yeah.
communication.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when because people tell their loved ones or their significant other when they is having thoughts about things, and sometimes your partner may push it to the side like you're just overreacting, or I don't want to hear that today. I got some other stuff on my mind, and that's when the communication stops. Then that's when people start to search in other areas for someone else to fill that void that you're not doing because he or she tried to tell you you didn't listen to what they were saying. So now they're saying, I'm going to do me.
Yes, that's Jews, Timmy. That's Jews. All right. Anybody else? All right. You guys are very on point and keen about this honest communication. I'm glad everyone feels that's something that needs to be, a priority. Well, at least seemingly. So all right, let me go ahead and pay these bills. All right, this episode of the Still a Man podcast is sponsored by EmporiumPlus.org. Remember, guys, EmporiumPlus.org is an online store. If you can't find what you are looking for in this store, then you are not shopping in the right store. Robbie, please tell all the viewers what brands they may find in EmporiumPlus.org.
I'm gonna try to spotlight a shirt today. It's in the brand Adapter Paris. What the shirt says here, there's no better way, we do better. You can find fashions in the following brands: S.A.M, Still a Man, Adapter Paris Ladies First, SOS Support Our Sisters, some merch in EmporiumPlus.org. And for our viewers that been hanging in there with us, that subscribe to our YouTube page, please continue to smash a like, spam a comment, drop an emoji. And for those who haven't yet to do so, join the boat, come on aboard, tell a friend, and do the same. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. All right, we're gonna go right to question number 5. I'm gonna go to the ladies first with this one, gentlemen. This is a good one. Question number 5. Do you have a habit of actively seeking out both the flaws and faults of your mate, subsequently self-sabotaging the relationship? Tanya.
Why you come to me first?
The spirit moved me.
Do I have a tendency to self-sabotage? I don't think I do. I don't think I have a tendency to self-sabotage. I give what I give in return what I receive. If I'm receiving understanding and love and commitment, I give it back in return. If you're giving me bullshit, I'm gonna call you on your bullshit.
Like I said, that honest communication, that seems to be the theme of tonight's discussion. Patsy, same question.
I agree with Tanya. I'm gonna love you, and I feel like there's something that needs to be fixed, but you're unwilling to work with me and be honest with me about fixing the problem. You're gonna either work with me or you're gonna hit the road, Jay. Because either way, I ain't about the BS.
Mhm.
You're either gonna share the love, or if you want to share the hate, you ain't sharing the hate with me. You gotta go.
Love it. All right, Duchess, same
Maybe
question.
share the love with you, Passy, but don't go sharing it with somebody else.
Right. Right.
Let me bring y'all sister into this situation. Duchess, same question. Do you have a habit of actively seeking out both your mate's flaws and faults, subsequently sabotaging the relationship?
No, I mean, how the hell do you have, how the hell could I have a marriage the length that I've had or relationship that I've had if I was self-sabotaging? No, I mean, do I point out flaws? I mean, I guess it depends on the mood. Do I want to be nice or do I want to be mean? Do I want to fight? Do I not want to fight? It's kind of a pick your battles type thing. Of course, if there's something that I really don't like, I'm going to speak up. I've never been one to hold my tongue. I've been nice. Like let's just say, I don't know, like we're at an event. I pick my times too. I'm not gonna go off in the middle of a party unless I really had to go off in the middle of a party. Now, could I say my younger self might have popped off? No, because I would have been like, no, I'm gonna respect. our parents or whatever. But if you are disrespecting me, I'm disrespecting everybody. So, no, I'm not a self sabotager, but I'm not, again, one to bite my tongue, but I know when and where to speak.
Well said, well said. All right, gentlemen, same question. Timmy, do you have a habit of actively seeking out both the flaws and faults of your mate, subsequently sabotaging the relationship?
Every relationship has flaws. It's up to the two parties to have some common ground where they know not to, do these things that would, cause that each other to get upset and don't tell each other what's on their mind because some people shut down and they don't know how to communicate. But as if you are in a relationship with someone, then you must always communicate no matter what the topic is and what that person's feelings are. Because if you can't express yourself on your feelings, then you are holding back and you're never going to get the full person because they're going to always be hiding things because they feel like they can't come to you and discuss those things without you trying to point those faults out.
Like it, like it. Timmy, you are on point tonight, Mr. Man. All right. Let's go to Dude. Dude, what's your views?
That's interesting. Say that last part that you just said. Who was just talking on that
I'll
one?
repeat the whole thing. Do
No, no,
you
no.
have a habit of actively seeking out both the flaws and faults of your mate, subsequently sabotaging the relationship, self-sabotaging the relationship?
No, because everybody got faults, and if everybody spent time doing that, then that's bullshit. That's bullshit because everybody got their own stuff with them. So if you do that to somebody else, expect them to do that to you because they got a right. If you're gonna take inventory on their shit, they got a right to take inventory on your shit. I think that's a waste of time to do that. But when you see something that's a red flag, you either speak up on it or move on.
Ooh, y'all dropping jewels tonight.
If you
Let's
constantly focusing on the faults and the flaws, you ain't never gonna get nowhere.
That's right.
Like you
yes,
said, it's a
yes,
waste of time.
yes.
Because everybody, whether they want to admit it or not, because the way the system was designed and because of what they do to us, got mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
So once you realize that, then it's easier for you to walk. But if you think you're the type, oh, I don't got no issues, then you're going to be lost in the sauce and you're going to be one of those who keep repeating that cycle.
Mr. Lacey, you with us?
Yes, sir. I tend to try to see the good in people, even if they are a little crazy.
And
So
and guys, let me just say this. Mr. Lacey just celebrated a birthday yesterday, so everyone say
Happy
happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy
appreciate y'all.
birthday, G
Thank y'all,
Happy
Money.
man.
birthday to you.
Yes,
Happy
yes.
birthday to
See
you.
this already within a day's time. He is implementing the necessary level of maturity. Loving it, loving it.
I think it's all about the way you come across too. If you're talking to somebody about their flaws and stuff, if you're being constructive, it's different from just
Yes,
There you go.
nagging at
yes.
somebody.
Now that's facts
That's
right there.
good.
Yes,
And
yes.
That's
she
I'm telling
good.
y'all on point tonight. Brimage.
I'm sorry, I can't cheat. code from their answers because I didn't hear the last person, so I can't try to sound like him. So hit me with the question, please.
Yep. Question number 5. Do you have a habit of actively seeking out both the flaws and faults of your mate, subsequently self-sabotaging the relationship?
I have been there, honestly speaking, because I really believe I was a PI, so I don't like to be lied to. Sneaky shit don't lie well with me. Honesty, love, you know, I think that's my policy. It earns respect and trust. But yeah, I have seen things, looked for things, found out to be true, only to really just you just got to end your relationship because once you start looking, be prepared to get your heart broke or get what you're looking for. So just go with your gut most of the time. Majority of the time, your gut is right. They showed the body language, and you notice lack of the quality, the lack of quality time with your spouse. You'll start to pick up on signs. So yeah, you can sabotage it if you just keep looking for stuff, trying to, be the nosy person. The thoughts will eat you alive. That's in your head.
Okay, well said, well
I
said.
I also want to say too, Dave. Everyone has faults, but as you get older, see when you're young, then your faults that you go through some things are accepted as you're just young and you don't know no better. But as you get older, then you supposed to know when you're wrong. And any man or woman that can admit their faults, then they are growing. They
Yes,
committed to growth by doing that.
yes.
If you cannot accept and deal with your own flaws,
Minister of
then
Conspiracy has left the
your
meeting.
whole thing is to focus on other people's flaws so you don't have to worry about your own flaws. It's easier to point out somebody else's than recognizing your own.
Okay. Sean, same question. Y'all got Jews tonight. Go ahead, Sean.
Minister of Conspiracy has joined the meeting.
Um, I've never pointed out my mate's flaws or inconsistencies or anything like that, but I do have a no nonsense way about me. So they know this. So they work hard on making sure that their flaws and inconsistencies doesn't arise too often.
Mm-hmm.
So
What about your
yeah.
flaws and inconsistencies?
Oh, I have them and they're out there because I can be self-righteous, I can be condescending, I can be um what else can
Mm-hmm.
Those two speak volumes. I can understand that.
You know what? I'm gonna say this when it comes to this question about do I actively search
way
for?
that I respond to it
Mhm.
or the lack thereof, not taking a person's feelings or whatever into consideration or even knowing how they would feel, but won't get into being a mature person and handling it that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna answer this question too. So I don't actively seek out people's flaws and their faults, because otherwise that can become tedious. And if I go into a relationship or whatever you want to call a situationship or just the encounter looking for the worst that the person has to offer, then that's not good because eventually they're gonna start looking for everything that's wrong with me. And now we're gonna be sitting there comparing.
Exactly.
And,
My
and,
bad. I
and
was just co-signing with you. That's all. Keep
yeah,
going.
and I don't want that because there may be a time or a chance that depending on the relationship, the individuals involved, you may or may not be the one that has more faults and flaws. So, I mean, like Robert said too, be careful when you go seeking, looking for things because you might find something that you don't want to know, not just about them, about yourself. So I try to, I ain't trying to, I certainly ain't trying to disguise nothing. I ain't trying to hide nothing. Like I live my life as an open book. You want to talk? Let's talk about it. But if you think you know something about me that's not so, and you bring it to the table, all right, be ready for that honest communication because that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get honesty because honesty is the best policy when dealing with me. So if you don't like my delivery, then say that. And everybody again, like I said, they're not open to what you have to say. So
Mm-hmm.
there's no way that they are willing to receive what you have to say because of that. You could be bringing them wisdom. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. I'm telling
Especially when they asking for advice and you give them wisdom,
you,
and they're going to do what they want to do anyway.
and most people go into these relationships thinking they already know all there is to know about themselves. So subsequently, they know all there is to know about their mate because if they know themselves, they know what they're going to tolerate and what they're not going to tolerate. So they know it. If this is a good mate or a bad mate off rip, time and situation will tell you who you are dealing with.
And it'll tell you what you can handle or can't handle.
That's right. That's right. Time will tell you a lot about yourself and your mate. And if you got a person, first signs of trouble, they're running. Oh yeah, you got a runner. And you know what you might have to do? Don't try to hold them there. You gotta set them free. Because
Mm-hmm.
they're always gonna be looking for an exit strategy. And that brings me to the next question. Jumping the gun. All right, I'm loving this. Is good. I'm gonna go to Timmy first. Timmy, you have been on point tonight. I'm gonna hit you with question number 6. Question number 6 is: have you ever been in a relationship where you feel trapped? Where you felt trapped? Constantly contemplating your exit strategy. You always looking for the exit, always looking for an open window, always looking for a trap door, a ladder to climb out the situation. What say you, brother?
No, I never had no situation like that. And let's be let's be blunt about it. If you have to do all that trying to escape, just tell them, just end it. It, it's not hard to say I don't want to be with you. It's easy to lead someone on and say, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings, but you doing more damage for the next person that's gonna deal with that person. And vice versa, same with a woman. If you don't be truthful about things and you trying to do all these little mess around and instead of just coming out right and say I don't want to be with you, then you're messing up that person and they gonna be damaged good for the next person,
Love it.
especially if they don't find themselves and work on themselves. See, a lot of people jump into a relationship because they some might don't want to be alone, some just used to having someone there. But when you find out who you are, then you know having a partner is you ain't got to search. You ain't got to go looking.
Yes.
That person that is for you, they gonna find you because your aura and your experience and things is gonna shine through and they gonna see that.
Say less, say less. Ladies and
See that
gentlemen,
or hear
he has
that?
arrived. He is here. He's in the building. I'm
See that or
loving
hear
it.
that?
Yes, Lord. Tanya, go ahead and address the
I'm just gonna
congregation.
piggyback off of what Timmy said. See that or hear that? Because if you are in a relationship and you feeling trapped, it's a relationship you shouldn't have been in the first place.
Yes.
And I just want to piggyback off of what we was talking about on the last question. When you are looking for the faults and
Kate has
things,
left
and
the
you
meeting.
and someone says
Kate
something
has
about
joined the
when you're in a
meeting.
long-term relationship,
Mm-hmm.
you tend to find out more about yourself than you do your mate, because the things that you are trying to fix
I'm sorry,
Kate has
Tanya.
left the meeting.
That's what it's all
Kate
about.
has
or
joined the meeting.
That's
faulting
what
him
it's all
for,
about.
or faulting them for is actually the stuff that you're dealing with on your own.
Mm. You go on and jump in there and answer that
I'm
question.
gonna jump off. I'm gonna jump off what Tanya said. It's a mirror. It's to show you yourself.
Yeah.
You keep looking at others, you'll never see yourself, and you'll be the one lost in the sauce. It's to show you who you are. It's the only marriage is the only thing that can show you who you truly are and what you're truly made of.
Mm. So let me get you to answer this part. Have you ever been in a situation or relationship where you felt trapped and you're constantly looking for an exit strategy?
Oh no, hell no. Oh no.
That would be no for me today.
That's like laying down saying, you know what, I quit. I'm just gonna take care and suffer. No, that's like a slave saying I'm not trying to escape. That's like, you know what I'm trying to say? That's like being in jail knowing you're innocent and say I'm not gonna try to fight to get out. Hell no.
Okay. All right. Patsy, what's your perspective?
I was in a real relationship that was semi-trapped, but I couldn't. Trying to get the person and get out of the relationship, and eventually it worked. So I wasn't fully trapped, but I was kind of, so yeah.
Okay. Brimage, what's your perspective?
Sorry, Dave, hit me with that question.
Yep. Have you ever been in a relationship in which you felt trapped, constantly searching for an exit strategy?
Um, the only reason why I might have felt trapped in a relationship was due to circumstance of probably children. Other than that, I was able to walk away when there was no strings really pulling me back. So yeah, it was only when I was with probably the parents' mothers that wasn't going to be loyal no more, and I felt like I was trapped in a situation to stay, to think that I'm the only parent that was going to do best by the child. That was my beliefs. So that's how I felt myself trapped at times.
Okay. Duchess, you with us? Duchess, gotta turn your mic on. All right, well, she's doing that. Gregory, same question.
What was the question? I can't hear you.
All right, hear me now. Have you ever felt trapped in a relationship, constantly constantly?
No, don't even finish the question. No, I haven't.
So all right. That's an easy question. Gregory, same question. Have you ever felt trapped in a relationship, constantly contemplating your exit strategy?
Yes. I had my fair share of a stalker situation, and it doesn't even have to be an exit strategy if this is like a um. You know how they play the saxophones nowadays, and you know something bad's about to happen.
Huh.
This person is popping up at your house, and it's sad because I had to look back at it, and men really don't talk about this. I might have been a battered man at that point in time. Couldn't get myself out the situation because I wasn't gonna call the cops on.
You heard what they said in Baby Boy with the mama told Jody, you gotta stop telling these girls you love them
You
while
got
you
a
having
you
sex
got
with
a
them.
pretty girl with a attitude of Respucia.
Oh,
We're
Ah,
that's
leaving this
ugly.
relationship.
Wow.
That's ugly. Wow. Well, that took it in a different direction.
Right.
Sean,
I
same
need
question.
I need the question after that answer.
All right. Have you ever felt trapped in a relationship, constantly contemplating your exit strategy?
Never, 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 never. Never been in anything that I didn't openly pursue or thought that I needed to be in.
Kate has joined the meeting.
Hmm,
Kate has left the meeting.
okay.
Kate has joined the meeting.
I think I got everybody. Have I ever been in a relationship where I felt trapped? I was seeking an exit strategy. Yes, and I'm still looking for the exit. I
Kate
really,
has left the meeting.
it's like, you know what? It's like, you got like you're stuck to the floor, and the only way out of it is taking off your shoes. But if you take off the shoes, then you're gonna be stuck again. And the next thing you're gonna have to remove is your socks, because the whole floor is like, what is it, fly paper? And you're just gonna feel stuck. And I'm not about to remove all my protection on my feet and try to
Then you got a jump coat.
exactly, because now what's next? I'm gonna
You
have to
gotta
remove
hop.
my feet to get out. No, no, no. So yeah, like I said, I've been in that situation. And I feel like it's a bad dream. It's like what's that movie? Is it where with Bill Murray, where he just keeps living the same day over and over,
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Every day you wake up and you already know how it's going to end. And so you're at some point where you like, you know what, I can do whatever I want because tomorrow is going to start all over again. It's going to be the same sequence. So I I need you, Jesus, because I got to figure out how much of it is them and how much of it is me. If I'm just trying to be a friend, and to be a better friend might be to just change my phone number. I ain't changed my phone number, but yeah, I have to block this person's call. All right,
Yeah.
I'm sending out an SOS.
Mm.
All right, so let's go to the next question.
Mhm.
And I heard some moaning over there.
Mm.
Question number 7. This is a good one too. Question number 7. Is it possible to have a healthy relationship with someone who has made a conscious effort to give half of what the relationship requires overall? And I'm gonna take a step further and say half of what you require as in your partner. I'm gonna go to the ladies first for this. Patsy.
Get over here now.
Half, if you're giving half at first and you're not improving, then no, you can't have a healthy relationship if there's no improvement on both parties, especially if one person is not giving his or her full potential.
Mm, okay. Duchess, what do you say? Is it possible to have a healthy, happy relationship with a someone that is made a conscious effort to give half of what is required in a relationship overall?
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, nobody at every time is giving 100%. It's gonna be times that you're giving 30, they're giving 70, and vice versa. So the ebbs and flow of a relationship and people in a relationship, there's going to be ups and downs where people are not giving their best. Whether like if you're sick, you're not going to be giving your all to your relationship. You're gonna be focused on yourself. But is that if it's a constant pattern and there's not communication and we're not discussing what the issue could be that's not about a relationship, then that's a problem.
Okay. Tanya?
I have to agree with my ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Dude. Dude, is it possible to have a healthy, happy relationship with someone who has made a conscious effort to give half of what the relationship requires overall?
No, you can't get comfortable with that. Nobody can get comfortable with that. And if you get, because the whole job is to become as one, the way the Most High designed it to be. So if nobody's not giving their all, you'll never be at one, because everybody got to give 100% to make that one. Does it mean you're going to fall and going to say, of course you are. Why? Because we all been trained wrong. We all been taught wrong. It's all been done purposely. So there's going to be some scuffling, some shaking up, some rattling, some long suffering, some all of that, but you got to give it all. If you don't give it your all, you're failing yourself and you're lying to yourself and you're not even honoring God.
Mm. Mm. G Money, what's your views?
I like what the panel was saying, especially Kiana. Maybe not gonna be able to give 100% at all times, but somewhere along the line, it's supposed to be a balance, so it is 100%. Like dude was just saying. And if you came into it with one foot in and one foot out, it's
Yes.
only so many wishes in the bubblegum dish before somebody's out.
Loving it. Timmy, what's your perspective? Is it possible to have a healthy relationship with someone who has made a conscious effort to give half of what the relationship requires overall?
I I look at it at this like it's like a polygamous marriage. Neither how many wives that person take in, he's never really given each one of them how many he has. He's never given each one of them the his full 100% because he can't. He got more than one, and he can't just put all his time into one. He got to break it up. So it never works unless it's accepted, unless that person, you or that person accept that.
Mm,
But if you accept it, then you must know that you're really not getting the full 100% of somebody. So it's up to you as an individual if you accept that flaw, because that's a flaw. If you accept that flaw of that person, then you deal with it. But some people get into it because it's a thrill, and then once that thrill wears off, they start seeing that this is not something that I want to be a part of. But you had that choice, and you made the choice because of the thrill.
okay. Robert, Same question. Is it possible to have a healthy, happy relationship with someone who has made a conscious effort to give half of what the relationship requires overall?
Not for me. I don't think it's gonna work. It didn't work when I was on the other side of that stick, giving half, you know. Um, the way I used to believe, my heart was divided into quarters. So one quarter was my mom and dad, the other quarter was my siblings, the other quarter was my children, the other quarter was my friends, you know, the people that I let in, you know, close to my heart. So then I started thinking each one of those quarters is 100% of it. So if you're in the friend category and we choose to start dating and all that, and I'm giving you 100% of one of these quarters that I hold very, very, very close to my heart. No one's to get in. So if I'm giving you 100% in that area, I expect you to try to do the same thing. We're not going to be living for a year or two and there's 40, 60, 30, 70, 20, 80. Once out the year, there's a 50-50, but it's always like a 20, 80, 30, 70. I can't live like that because I love hard now. I want to feel appreciated. You know, you're not going to sit there and just use me and give the other 50% of your heart to the trick you're messing with.
John, what's your perspective? Is it possible to have a healthy, happy relationship with someone who has made a conscious effort to give half of what the relationship requires overall?
Because of the last part of that question, the last statement of it, I'm gonna say no. But beforehand, my thought was, if the parties agree that if one came in and said that this is what they're going to do, that they can carry the load of the relationship, they can do it for a while before it starts to take a toll.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mm.
And so that's how I would answer that. Because of the last part of that question,
Mm-hmm.
I would say no. But my thought would be that, because I've been in situations to where one has given or one has started out doing and being more than the other person was either capable of doing or was willing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an agreement and an understanding between the two parties.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, enough becomes enough.
Mm-hmm. Um, I'm as for me, I'm not willing to accept that. So I don't do half. I don't want half. I don't even want half of the sandwich. Um, I'm gonna
It's
be
not fully.
nah. I need the whole thing. So I need you, the you in your entirety, and I need you to be consciously active in this relationship. I don't want you giving 50%. I need you to give 100%, or at least appear to be giving 100%. Um, but financially, that's one thing. But emotionally, yeah, I'm not going to accept 50%. I understand people have times when they are ill for whatever reason, but I wouldn't be looking for that. That's when, if you have enough wherewithal where there's going to be times where you're going to have to do more than others based upon the situation. But emotionally speaking, I'm not willing to accept half. I'm not, because I invest too much of myself into the individuals that I deal with. So I don't want half. I want it all. But that's
That sometimes
I have a
some
rebuttal.
sorry, sometimes it could be the thrill of the catch. You know, that thrill that you looking at that woman or she's looking at that man and saying, I'm gonna be with him. That's gonna be my man.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be my woman. And then when they get caught, then everything starts to change because the thrill is no longer there. You
Mm.
know, you might have chased this person for years and they wouldn't give you the time of the day. And then all of a sudden, out the blue, they say, okay, I'm going to give it a chance. And then, so that be the thrill right there. And then once you start to figure out that that thrill is going, and now you say, well, I don't really want this. It was fun while it lasted. Now I'm ready to go, back out for the thrill of the catch.
Mm-hmm. Duchess?
Yeah, I just think, I guess you must be one of the men who like fairy tales because um, if you think somebody is going to be emotionally available to you 24/7, 365, 366 days a year, is just not idealistic. It's not reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's a falsehood because
Let
no one can be that for anybody. A lot of people ain't even that for themselves.
let me see if I
Being greedy, buddy.
let me see if I can sway your opinion. Let me
You
give
won't, but go ahead.
I know
Uh-huh.
but I'm gonna try. Would you accept half of a piece of gum that's been chewed already?
That sounds huge.
Ah!
No, I wouldn't. But again, this is let I'm gonna use your analogy. You and this person been chewing gum back and forth for years. Now it's your turn to chew the gum because I've been chewing it, taking care of these kids. My job is stressing me out. I don't have anything to give you right now. I could barely give it to myself.
Okay.
So, do you leave because now you chewing gum, or you just gonna chew gum because okay, I see where she's at, and I'm gonna give it to her for a minute. Yes, you're not gonna accept years of that. You might not even accept months of that. But if you communicate, you'll see where she's at. But I can't give you what I can't give you.
But it's a decision that you make individually, right?
I,
If you're
I
gonna
don't think it's a decision. Again, you can't pour from an empty cup.
but if we're sticking to the metaphor of the piece of chewed gum, you make a choice to accept this chewed gum, this gum that has already been chewed upon. True or false?
Eventually, the gum is going to get stale.
Mm. I
Huh.
can't I can't get no help in here. Thank you,
You
Tanya.
ain't gonna get no help.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Tanya. All right, and gentlemen, y'all sit there
It's
and
going to lose its
sit there and chew on your gum, the gums in your mouth, because you ain't got no answer. Like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Sean, I know damn well you ain't accepting no gum that's been chewed already,
Not
let
at
alone
all.
be half of it.
No
Not at
flavor.
all. Not at all. But even though you use that analogy, my answer that I gave still stands the same because for it to even be a situation like that, you
Mhm.
have to first agree on it.
True. And that's why I said I am not willing to accept half emotionally.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
why I said
Mhm.
Well,
that.
that's why I also
Mhm.
said it is always room for improvement, but if the person is not willing and able to improve on their emotional feelings towards you, then it's time to
Mhm.
go.
So
Oh,
if the love of your life,
Dave, you should have used it this way.
if the love of
If,
his
if
life started getting depression and now she's not giving you what she used to give you, you're gonna leave her?
No, that's
No,
different.
no, no, no.
That's
That's when the
different.
strength.
That's different. I'm talking
Exactly.
about. I'm talking
Dave,
about.
say it this way, please.
No, you say it. You
I'm
say
gonna
it.
say, if you was in a relationship and every morning you got up to a pack of gum, you both enjoy having a piece of gum, but ever since you've been in this relationship, you notice your spouse was making sure they popped in a whole stick of gum in their mouth and they tore you off a half a piece every morning and continue that on for the rest of your dealings with them. Is that fair?
Hell no, that's not fair because they
I
always gonna
blame
have a
you for
piece
not
and a
speaking
half.
up when you noticed.
Right, right.
You sat there and let them do that every morning and you
Mm-hmm.
didn't say nothing.
And that's now
She needed it more than
we
you,
on the
buddy.
same village, that on the same page. We are all part of the same village now. Like I said, I'm not willing to accept that. So because that's how I feel. That's my decision. I'm not listening.
Well, you know what? If that's the case, if you chew on a piece of gum, a fresh piece of gum every day, that's just God telling you if you're waking up today, today is a new day. Yesterday is history.
Go on,
Yeah.
Patsy.
All right.
But check this out. You're always getting half of yesterday. You're not in his
No,
presence or her
I'm
presence.
not looking at half a piece. If you give me a half a piece, but you got a whole piece, I'm like, forget you. You gotta hit the road, Jack. I want a whole piece of gum, just like the piece that you took and put in your mouth. If you took a whole piece, I want a whole piece too. I
But
don't
what if
want
he
half
needed
a
more
piece.
than you, Patsy?
Sure, no, don't
Halitosis.
want half of
Oh
me.
no. Hold on. We gonna move past this because that's a piece of gum that's already been chewed too much and you can't blow no bubbles with it.
Right.
Ew. It has no
See,
flavor.
now it's nasty. You don't want to blow bubbles with the chewed piece of gum.
Now it's all
Um,
stringy.
exactly. All right, question number 8. Question number 8. This is the last question, gentlemen and ladies. Okay, what type of advice would you offer someone that is struggling with the fear of commitment? Patsy, you're up first.
Oh Lord. Um, right? Seek God and ask Him for help to get over their fear because we're told not to fear not. And if you got a fear of anything, especially a fear of commitment, um, you got to work on your inner self.
Ooh, like
Why are you fearing commitment?
mm,
I can see you being cautious about committing to a relationship, but the reasoning behind it is what you got to work on.
love it, love it. Thank you for your participation and your insight. Timmy, what type of advice would you give someone that is struggling with commitment phobia, fear of commitment?
I would tell them, uh, explore yourself first. Work on you before you enter a relationship. Because if you work on yourself, then in any of your past relationship, the trials and tribulations that you went through, if you worked on yourself and worked on those problems, then you will not bring those same problems to your new relationship. But you have to work on it, and some men and women don't like to face their issues. They think it ain't a problem until it turns it turns to chaos and destruction.
Yes.
You
Say that.
know, and then that's when they want to try to correct it.
Yes. All right. Thank you for your participation and your insight. Mr. Lacey, same question. What type of advice would you give to someone that is struggling with commitment phobia?
In a world where everything is hypersexualized and promiscuous right now. So don't listen to everything that is going on in the environment, because I see a lot of people taking advice from AI and all this crazy stuff, telling people to stay in multiple relationships until you find one, when people really don't want to move like that. And even if you look at the comments, the dudes that are saying they want to do it, the girls don't agree to it, but then there's girls that agree to it, but they don't want their man to do it. So it
Mm-hmm.
just is nut stuff going on. Don't fall into the trap of what they're putting out here in the world.
Mm. Like it. Thank you for your participation and your insight.
And love isn't always gonna be as easy as it looks.
That's y'all. Jews. Brimage, what do you say?
I don't know what to say. Let me see. Find some words for these people out here, because I tend not to struggle in this field. But
Uh-huh.
if I was to say something to them, I would say be mindful of this. Struggling with commitment could be overwhelming at times, not due to you got to be mindful of the deep fears. Um it's not really based on lack of affection majority of the time. It's their deep fears they haven't got past yet, like a phobia.
Okay. All right, nothing fair but fair itself. All right, let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which way should I go? Let's go to Duchess. Same question, Duchess. What type of advice would you give someone that's struggling with commitment phobia?
I would say you need to look at where that stems from. Um, does it come from your parents or your family members and what they've done? Because what they went through is not necessarily what you're gonna go through, because you don't even if you think you know the dynamics of that relationship, you don't know half of what you know because you wasn't in it.
Mm,
So I would say you need to look at the root cause of why you have this phobia, work on that. And if you really want a relationship, you can't stand still. You have to take a leap.
yes,
Nothing changes unless you move.
yes.
Yep.
Thank you for your participation and your insight. Let's go. Sean, you're up next. What type of advice would you give to someone that is struggling with commitment issues?
Um, Advice. I guess I would start off by first like reassuring them. Um, yeah, like Kiana said, like have them look into seeing why is it that they feel the way that they feel, and in the process of them doing that, find out if they're willing to speak on it. Because a lot of times I found out that people that don't want to commit to anything don't have the balls to speak up on it,
Mm,
because they're feared on what they might lose, or feel like they'll be judged or ridiculed in some kind of way. So if I'm speaking to them, I got to let them know that that this is a safe space for you to talk,
yes.
let it out, you know, and we just go from there. So as far as I don't know what advice I would give them until I know what the actual reason is, but I know how I would start the conversation off with letting it be known that that this is a safe space, this is a judgment free zone, but you know what you say here is gonna stay right here.
Mhm. All right, love it. Thank you for your participation and your insight.
Dave, I mean not to drop in here one time. Forgive me for this, but Kiana said something. She said to get change, you got to move. So I had to cheap plug. I had to go in here and drop another spotlight on a T-shirt. As Dr. Paris. It's called DSD. Do something different.
Okay. All
Well,
right. All right. Let's go to Tanya. Tanya, beloved, what type of advice would you give someone that is struggling with commitment issues?
Well, a lot of good things was said on the panel that I can agree with, like looking into yourself. I'm gonna say to seek counseling because if you're having commitment issues, you're not committed to yourself. And then I'm gonna say to seek a relationship with the Creator because He knows all there is to know about you. He knows your life plan because He planned it out for you. So once you figure out why you have commitment issues, commit to your relationship with Christ and seek guidance and direction from Him. Won't go wrong.
Well said, well said. Thank you for your participation and your insight. Dude, take us home. What type of advice would you give someone that is struggling with commitment phobia?
Everybody want heaven, but not want dead. Everybody wants to be loved, but not want to play their part. So with that said and done, what is a man if he gains the whole world and have not loved? So now what you have to do, people want things, but they don't want to put the effort forth to get it.
Yes,
They think
Lord.
they with all these TV shows and all these YouTubes and this whatever you want to call this media, social media shit, it got you thinking that relationships are they're dictating how relationships are. We all serve a mighty most high, and he tells us how they should go. So but he also tells you there's long suffering and there will be trials and tribulations. So the what you see now is these people, they want every day to be roses. They want every day to be what they want it to be without none of the struggle, without none of the problems, without none of the good and bad that comes with it. But then says, my man loves me and my woman loves me. Well, how the fuck you know that? What have y'all been through to say that? What have y'all gone through? What battles have y'all gone through? What struggles have you gone through to say that y'all love each other, to be there with each other and carry each other up out of there and walk with each other up out of there? Nobody wants to go through that. Nobody wants to go through that. Nobody wants to do the hard work, not just with love, with anything anymore. No one wants to do the hard things with anything anymore. They want everything to be coast. Let's coast through. Let's be comfortable. There's no growth in comfortability. No growth in comfortability. Comfortability to me is like being in the middle. What does the Bible say is about being in the middle? Being lukewarm. I will spew you out the mouth. So every week I do something to make myself uncomfortable. Because it teaches me to appreciate all the basic things like love, people. And then when you sit down and reflect, see, my idea of sitting down reflecting on what I have done. Say, for instance, okay, example, I came across you today, Dave. Me and you had a long conversation. We were talking about things, maybe you agree with me on some things, maybe we didn't, maybe we agreed on everything. But when I come home at night, everybody I came across that day, I asked the Most High, did I give the right energy? Did I give the right vibe? Did I say anything wrong to mislead any one of these people? If I did, open my eyes. So the next time I see Dave or the next time I see whoever, you know what? Remember when I said that I was wrong about that? It says search first the things of the kingdom. My whole goal is fuck a job, fuck $1 million, fuck a house, fuck all that. My whole job and my whole existence is here is to possess the kingdom. Nothing comes before that. Nothing comes before that. Nothing. Why? Because without that, you can't be the right person for anything you get.
Okay, well said. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. If I would give any advice, I would tell the individual first you need to identify what the fear is, and then you need to acquire the tools so that you can either cope with the fear or deal with it head on. All right. So if you are constantly struggling with things like this and the fear becomes overwhelming, then you should seek out someone to talk to, either a member of your church, or start off with God, or you should seek professional help, because the phobia is real and there are people struggling with it, and it's not always identified or diagnosed, and it happens in 1 in 10 people, and it affects both the young and the old. So commitment phobia is real. Like I said, you have to identify the fear and realize real quick how you're going to deal with it, because you need to address the problem at hand.
Welcome to the
All right,
Still a
this has
Man
been
platform,
Still a
where real
Man
conversations
podcast,
leads to real
everyone.
growth.
See you next week.
Every
And
Monday,
in the
step into
meantime,
Man in the
everybody be
Mirror,
good to one
a
another. God
platform where
bless you.
people come to share their journey, their past, their present, and the future. Real stories, real reflections, and real transformation. On Tuesdays, tap into the heart of the conversation with Still a Man podcast. Honest talk, raw truth, and the kind of realness most people are afraid to dig into. And every Wednesday, ease into the middle of your week with Wind Down Wednesday, your space to reset, release, and recharge. 3 shows, 3 experiences, 1 platform built on truth, growth, and connection. Support the movement, subscribe, share, and stay tuned. Mondays, Man in the Mirror. Tuesdays, Still a Man podcast. Wednesdays, Wind Down Wednesday. This is the Still a Man platform. Real talk, real life, real people.